Hello everybody and welcome back to Stretchies and Stuff. It's been a few months since I posted something. I've been in the midst of, life and moving to this cute little town that I am now all set up in, which is great. But yeah, I hope everybody's been well. Today I have got a, 30-35 minute full body stretch class. So this is a really chilled out flow, really focuses on the shoulders and the hips and the whole body and should leave you feeling very good. For this class, you will need a strap or a house coat tie or a scarf or a dish towel, and then a block or something to sit up on. And if you have quite tight hamstrings, you might want some blocks for underneath your hands at some point. But otherwise, there's a point at the end of the video where my camera cuts out, but you're lying on your back. So if you notice that there's no image, don't worry about it. Just keep on stretching. All right, enjoy. Do this. Let's get started. Lie down on your back, grab your strap. Starting with a little hip mobility. I'm going to face this way so nobody gets any weird views. Lie down, relax the whole body. Just let gravity take you for a couple of moments and start to come into your breath. Start to feel the belly rise and fall. Let the dust settle of your day and thoughts. Notice anything swirling around in the mind and just let it fall. Really. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Keep your left leg on the ground. If it feels like too much of a stretch, you can always put the left foot on the ground just to make it a bit more accessible. But if not, then just straighten the left foot. And then bring that right knee in towards the right shoulder. And just imagine you're pushing your right hip away from your body and you're sucking your left thigh bone into your left hip. So making a bit of a scissoring action with the hips here, just trying to keep them nice and even. And allow that knee just to fall towards the right armpit. Give the ankle a couple of circles while you're here in one direction and the other. And then bring that knee in towards the center of your chest and back out towards your armpit. So just moving the thigh bone around in the hip socket a little bit of mobility working into the joint. Use your breath here. My goal today is to try not to breathe too intensely into my microphone, but you breathe as intensely and as deeply as you can over there. Good. All right, bring that knee just to center now. Grab your strap and put the bottom of your foot on the strap. So have the strap just around the arch of your foot. Kick the foot up towards the sky and keep that scissoring action going. So the right hip pushes away, the left hip sucks up. And then just let the weight of your hands pull the strap down. So we're not trying to, come into any crazy hamstring stretch here. We're really just working with the strap, creating some resistance, pointing the toes back towards the face, and breathe into the back of the leg. Stretch, soften, release the jaw. Stay here for 2 more nice long mindful cycles of breath. Good. Bring that left hand onto the strap. Take your right thumb, hook your right thumb into your right hip crease and just let your right foot tilt over to the left side. But not so much that you're coming into a twist like this. Keep both backs
Keep the back of your pelvis flat on the ground, so both sides of the pelvis flat on the ground. And if it helps, you can flex those left toes back just to keep the left leg engaged, almost like an anchor. Should be a nice stretch along the hamstring and the IT band side of the leg, the hips. And come back through center. Release the strap, bring the knee back into the chest again. Take your right hand and bring it to the inner line of your right knee, and then just reach for the outer right foot. Come into half happy baby here. So try to keep the tailbone pushed down to the ground. Keep the pelvis somewhat even, but just enjoy this nice inner thigh stretch. Breathe. I'm just making sure I'm recording here. I am. Yay. Good. Release the foot, release the right leg, both legs flat. And just notice as you lie down, once again, if your right side of your pelvis, if your right hip feels a little softer onto the ground, feels a little bit more open. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Bring the left knee in towards the chest, interlace the fingers, but try to go the opposite way. So with the interlacing of the fingers, it feels a little bit awkward. And just hug that left knee in towards the left armpit and do some circles with the ankle here. Pretty much, no matter how many ankle circles I do, I always get pops and cracks. Poor little ankles. Switch directions. Keep the focus on the hip as well. That scissoring action. Good. And now start to move the thigh bone around in the hip socket. So bring the knee in towards the center and out towards the armpit, almost like it's making a little rainbow shape. Notice any clunks or any specific or particularly tight areas here in the hip. Just breathe into them. Try to visualize that thigh bone moving around in the hip socket. And then bring the knee to center. Grab your strap. Straighten the left leg. So push the left heel up towards the sky and point the left toes back towards your face without hyperextending the leg, but really nice, strong, straightening left leg. So if you can't come all the way to straight, that's totally fine. Just want to be feeling some sensation in the back of the leg, grounding the hips down. And then you can plant that right heel strong and firm into the ground and almost feel like you're dragging the right heel back towards your body just to even out the hips. Take 2 nice, deep, mindful breaths here. Good. Grab the strap with the right hand, place the left thumb in the left hip and subtly tilt the left foot over to the right side, keeping both sides of the pelvis on the ground. You might find a stretch right in your upper hip. So your upper thigh, your outer leg. Keep those toes flexed back. And inhale, come through center, lose the strap. Oh my goodness, the sun's coming out. Bring the knee in towards the chest. Take that left arm and reach for the outer edge of your left foot. You can place your right hand down on your right hip just to keep that pelvis nice and stable and come into half happy baby. Nice inner thigh stretch. 2 more breaths here. Imagine that left knee coming to touch the ground beside you without rocking the hips over. Try to keep the tailbone on the ground. Gently release the left leg down beside the right. Keep your hands on your hip bones and just rock the feet from side to side. And then you can really feel your femur bones rolling. So your femur bones, your thigh bones in your hip sockets. And just notice how that feels as you rock your feet from side to side. Bit of mobility in the hips. Maybe feeling a little bit looser than you did not long ago. Good. Bring the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. So much that you even bring your forehead to your knees. Breathe here. Activating the core a little bit and also just giving yourself a big, awesome hug. Release the head down. Bring the hands behind the legs and roll yourself forward and backwards on the spine a bunch of times, giving yourself a massage. I'm going to do a 180 so that I can face you again. Woo. Good. And come back to seated on your mat. Hey, everybody. Okay, so if you have a block, you can sit on your block. If you have a pillow, sit on that. If you're comfortable not sitting on anything, that's great as well. So find a nice comfortable seat. Grab your strap. We're going to get into the shoulders a little bit. This is just a full body stretches class to make you feel really great. So make sure you're comfortable in your seated position because we're going to be here for a little bit. And if you're not, just let your legs go straight in front of you or stand up or just do something that feels good because I don't want you to be uncomfortable. All right, so grab the strap in your hands and really try to pull the strap apart. Try to soften the shoulders down the back. So keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then see this, like I'm a very hypermobile person and I tend to want to hyperextend my elbows a lot. So I'm trying to keep a micro bend in my elbows as I do this, but I can't promise that I will, but you get the idea. So try to keep that integrity in the elbows. Inhale, still pulling that strap apart. Reach the strap up overhead. And as you do so, try to keep the ribs in and then bring it all the way around the back. Ooh, that feels good. Coming back up overhead. Inhale, stretching out through the pecs, trying to keep those ribs in. Keep those shoulders away from the ears and all the way down in front. Again, inhale, reach it up, pull it apart, and bring it all the way around the back, like a rainbow shape as well. It's like the rainbow class. Inhale, bring it all the way up and over. Exhale. So each round is 2 breaths. Inhale, bring it up overhead. Exhale, bring it back behind you. Pull it apart. Inhale, bring it up overhead and stay here. So pulling that strap apart, keeping those ribs in, keeping those shoulders down, try to tuck the tailbone. Feel your core. It's on. And just tilt over to the right side. Look up under the left shoulder. Try to keep that micro bend in the elbows. And come through center. Over to the left. Look up, over, under the right arm. And inhale, center. Exhale, bend the elbows into this cactus position and just twist from side to side. So opening up the chest a lot here. Keep the core on. And inhale, extend the arms behind you. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, extend. And exhale, flex. Inhale, bring it up overhead and bring that strap right in front of you. Maybe you want to bring your hands a little bit closer together. Try to pull the strap apart. Let the chin come down towards the chest. The head releases and oof. Give yourself a really nice trap stretch, a nice shoulder stretch. You can even twist from side to side. And open the hands. Release the strap. Oof. Give the neck a couple of circles from side to side. Should be feeling really good right now. You might want to do that whole thing again. Bring your hands down on the ground in front of you and bring the fingers to face your feet and just give the wrists a little bit of a stretch. Come back up. Put the tops of the hands on the ground. Give the wrists a stretch. Bring the hands behind the body and just switch the crossing of the legs. Probably the more awkward feeling one. Give the shoulders a couple of circles on the back. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. And exhale, circle them down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, circle it up. Exhale, down. Just notice if you're feeling a little bit more space in the shoulders now. Inhale, circle it up. And then exhale, plant the hands forward, lift the hips, remove the block, plant into the hands, and step yourself back into hands and knees position. So make sure your shoulders are over the wrists, hips are over the knees, and come through a couple nice cat-cows. Inhale, arch the spine, try to keep those ribs in, look up, and exhale, curl. 2 more times in your own breath. What I say to you is what I'm saying to myself. Keep those ribs in. It's something that I am working on in my own yoga practice. And inhale, arch the spine, look up. Tuck the toes, come through neutral, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Bend the knees a lot, point the tailbone up towards the sky. So bend the knees more than you would normally in a downward facing dog. And bend the elbows a bunch. So just creating lots of space and really let the head go. You can bob around here a little bit. Imagine the spine's like a slinky and you're just trying to get a little bit more space in it. It's not like a compressed slinky. It's like a somewhat open slinky. But not completely, because that probably wouldn't be good. All right, walk the feet back a little. Come up high onto the heels, and then exhale. Drop both heels over to the right. Really push into the left hand and stretch the left side body. Try to keep both shoulders nice and level, and try to have the weight evenly into both hands. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, drop the heels to the other side and really push equally into both hands. Lift the hips up to the sky. Feel around here. See where you get that nice side body stretch and try to stay there. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the hips. Child's pose. So nice active child's pose here. So really imagine trying to push your tailbone down towards your heels and then come up onto your fingertips. So you have little spider fingers. Inhale, look forward towards your hands and then take that right arm and weave it underneath the left. Come into a nice twist in your child's pose and really push the back of that right arm into the earth so that you're getting a nice shoulder stretch in the right side. Try to keep the hips level. Imagine your yoga teacher coming and adjusting your hips, lowering your hips down towards your heels. One day you will get that again. Inhale, come through center, plant those spider fingers on the ground and weave the left arm under the right, come into your twist. Really press that whole left arm deeply into the ground so you're active in the left arm. Try to push those hips back to the heels. Stay with it. And gently release. Walk yourself forward. Come into hands and knees. We're going to do a quick little low lunge. So simply just take your right leg, walk it forward. Keep the left knee on the ground. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Tuck the tailbone under. Keep that scissoring action. Right hip back, left hip forward. Ribs in, arms up overhead. Then bring your right arm to your right knee and reach over to the right side with your left arm. Nice and simple. Try to get lower into the front knee. And inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, plant the hands on the inside of the right foot. And just, come right down onto the hands. Walk the right foot off to the side a little bit more and come into lizard. Rock from side to side. And maybe lower down onto the forearms. Maybe tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. What's that thing called? Release the head. Do what feels good here. Either stay here or lower the left knee, plant the right hand, circle the right arm up. Plant the left hand. And you're reaching back for your left foot coming into the quad stretch. Twist up, look up. Gently release. Bring your right hand onto the outer side of your right foot. Lift the hips up, walk the right foot forward and come up onto the right heel, coming into half splits here. So another nice hamstring stretch. Release the head forward. Great. Bend into the front leg, walk the front knee back, coming back into hands and knees. Quick cat-cow in between sides. Inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, curl. And that curl makes more space for you to bring the left foot forward. Come into that low lunge on the left side. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. And exhale, bring that left elbow to the left leg and reach overhead with your right arm. Imagine sucking the right knee forward, the left heel back, and get long in the right side body. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, place both hands down on the inside of your front leg. Walk the front leg off to the side and come into your lizard. Remember, if you enjoyed the quad stretch, you can come with me. But if not, just stay in whatever variation you find. Release the head. Release the neck. Keep breathing nice and deeply. Maybe lift that back knee if you haven't already. And if you're coming with me, plant the right hand off to the side, circle the left arm up, reach back, come into that quad stretch. Look up over the left shoulder. And gently, without slingshotting, release. Walk the left foot back into center. Keep both hands up. You can have blocks, of course, as well for your half split. So come up onto that left heel. Fold the upper body down. Imagine dragging your left heel back towards your body. So there's a lot of engagement happening. The quad is also engaged here. And release, come forward, lift the back leg off the ground and walk yourself forward into a forward fold. So you're pivoting onto both feet so that both of your toes are facing the right side. If you've already gone to the left side, that's totally fine. Just release the whole upper body forward. Maybe bring your hands under your shoulders. Maybe the head comes to the ground. But maybe definitely not also. You can always have blocks underneath your hands. Bring yourself to a halfway lift. Look forward. And then just plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. I like to bring my hand to my hips so that my hips stay somewhat even as I twist. And exhale, release. Inhale, other side, left hand down, twist to the right. And exhale, release. Bring both hands to both ankles and just fold forward once again. This is one of my favorite places to be, but I understand that it's not very comfortable for a lot of people, so just do what feels right for you here. Pivot both feet to face the front. Step the left foot back. Lower the knees. Come back, child's pose once again. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Bring your arms out in a T or in a cactus, depending on how much room you have. And then we're going to come onto the right side first. So either with the arm perpendicular to your body or up a little bit if you want a deeper stretch. Just roll on over to the right side. Either keep your feet together or maybe put your left foot flat on the ground behind your right foot. Stretch out the pecs. I'm glad I'm recording a video finally. I did miss it. I realize now. Social media is not all that bad. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, come on to the other side. So either in a T shape or more of a YMCA shape, depending on how deep you want to get into that pec. And come back to center. Plant both hands on the ground. Bring your forehead to your hands and just shake out your bum. Again, shaking those femur bones and the hip sockets, the thigh bones and the hip sockets. And just release. Come to stillness. Lift your head up. Bring your elbows under your shoulders. Circle the shoulders onto the back and just come into a nice Sphinx pose. So a gentle back bend. Push the toes deeply into the ground. Keep the legs nice and engaged. And then imagine pulling the arms back towards the body. Bring the shoulder blades back and down. Keep the back of the neck long. Stay here for 3 breaths. And release. Come down. Release the head. Shake out the hips. And roll yourself onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice big hug again, because you deserve to give yourself lots of hugs of a day. Bring the knees to center, bring the arms out in a cactus, and just let both knees fall over to the left, gaze over the right shoulder. Let it go. Turn the core on a little bit to bring the knees through center and over to the right. Gaze over the left. Bring the knees back all the way to center. Bring the hands onto the knees and just make some nice circles with the knees. Switch directions. It's like you're stirring a little pot, little mini pot with a big bone. Talking about your thighs and your hips. All right, bring the feet together and lower them onto the ground. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. You can put some blocks underneath your knees if you want to, or you can just enjoy this stretch. You can also push the hips a little farther away from the body by putting the hands on the thigh bones and creating that space. And release. You can either stay here for Shavasana or release both legs flat onto the mat and let the feet flop off to the side. You choose. Melt into the ground and enjoy a couple of minutes to do absolutely nothing. Just let your body integrate the practice. Let muscle tension dissolve. And just bask in this nice feeling, post-yoga feeling. I'll let you know when it's time to start moving again. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And stay here for as long as you want, or just rock the head from side to side. Bring your hands together at heart center. We're just going to stay lying down. So for those of you who want to stay here, it's all good. Take a moment to thank yourself for practicing yoga today. And I thank you so much for showing up and sharing your energy with me. Namaste. I'll be here for the rest of the day.
Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope everybody's feeling good. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas, send me a message or comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you get notified when I post new videos. All right, bye.